Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Cyrus Davis, and today I have another game as part of our first round of the single elimination Prismatic Evolutions bracket. This one is going to be between Lugia V-STAR and Regidrago. We already had games of Miraidon versus Lost Box. Miraidon beat Lost Box 2-0, and Gardevoir versus Ancient Box, where Gardevoir beat Ancient Box 2-0. If you want to see how that bracket is playing out, you can go ahead and check the description below, where there should be a link to the bracket. This is still part of the first single elimination round, so whichever of these decks wins will advance to the top 8. We have myself playing Lugia V-STAR on the left, and Callie Moore playing Regidrago V-STAR on the right. Lugia hasn't changed a whole lot, but it has gained the new Regigigas, and so I have switched the deck back to a no Chinchino build. The Chinchino build is still solid, but I have been preferring the non-Chinchino build thanks to the new Regigigas, allowing for some other ways to take big knockouts. On the Regidrago side, the deck has changed quite a bit, adding some more ways to deal with the new Badoo, since Item Lock can be quite bad for Regidrago. The deck is now including cards like Powerglass and Rotom V to help out your early game and help you get set up. Now, I am not sure. I don't quite remember who won the coin flip here. I want to say it was me. Yeah, so it looks like I won the coin flip. I'm going to go first here. I opened Lumineon against Callie Squawkabilly. So not amazing starters for either of us, but certainly a little bit better for Callie, since she can still use that Squawkabilly on her first turn. Looks like I get a Tails in this first Capturing Aroma. Gonna throw down the Lugia V. Do a deck search. Looks like unfortunately my camera got knocked a little bit here, so we're on a little bit of an angle. I apologize for that. So I'm going to put a Jet Energy to bring up that Lugia, just so that is in active position for next turn, and I get an Energy attachment onto the board, and then pass it over. Now, Lugia definitely slightly favorable in this matchup, even more so now with the addition of Badoo into the format, making the Regidrago list a little bit less consistent, generally speaking, since it has to cut some of its normal tools in order to play more ways to deal with Badoo. And going first certainly also gives Lugia a significant edge here, allowing me to get the first knockout. And as long as I can chain 3 knockouts together from turn 2, I should have a pretty easy path to victory. On the Regidrago side, Callie is probably going to be trying to gust up my Archeops and use that Goodra's Rolling Iron attack to reduce my damage, trying to force me to keep finding boss orders every turn, since I won't be able to knock out the Regidrago V-STAR in the active spot. And once she's picked off both of my Archeops, that can cause some other issues for me, and then she can start targeting my energy on the board. Looks like a pretty decent start here for Callie. Gets a couple Dragos down, gets that Rotom down so that she can end this turn by drawing a few extra cards. There's the Teal Mask. Kallie's getting a PokéStop down, so we can both potentially get some use out of that if we need to find more resources. And then Kallie's going to go ahead and play Research. So great start. Gets a Teal Mask with energy, a Drago with energy, Rotom for next turn. Gets to use Squawk and a Research. And PokéStop. Gets the Goodra in the discard pile right away, which is probably her ideal attacker for most turns in this matchup. Then finds Prime Catcher for next turn as well. Oh, and able to get the Dragapult in the discard pile. Finds a couple more Grass Energy with a Vessel. Maybe has another Teal Mask that she can put into play to get another energy onto. Nope, just going to go ahead and instant charge, end the turn. And I immediately just Jacques. Looks like I actually deliberating here. Okay, yeah. So I'm going for the Jacques. Probably just going to grab double chops. Ultra Ball him away. And see what I up here. Probably debating here. I could grab like a Lumineon for next turn, depending on how strong my hand is. Which I believe my hand was a little bit lacking. I could grab a Regigigas as another future attacker, or I could grab, it looks like I decided to grab Lugia. Without Chinchino in the deck, Lugia is actually a much more important attacker. Especially in this matchup. It looks like I'm just going to set up this Lugia with 4 non-double turbo energy to make sure that Tempest Dive can do 220, so that I can still be knocking out things like Teal Mask and Drago V and Latias Fez next turn, assuming this Lugia survives the turn. But I go ahead and take the prize lead here. Callie immediately going to go ahead and evolve into Drago V-Star, attach, Energy Switch, get this Drago set up. Gets a Teal Dance as well. Gets this Latias EX onto the board. Another card that's a bit new in Drago, since you need a way to retreat under Badoo. Don't have much flexibility with your switches. Like I said, Callie probably would just like to... I mean, Lost Impact might be okay here, but the ideal thing would probably just be to Rolling Iron one of these Archeops. So to limit my options, force me to find boss next turn from a small hand. And without activating Gift Energy. Because if she activates Gift Energy by not getting Lugia V-Star and I just find boss, chain another attack, just keep doing that every turn, there's just no way for her to win, right? So wanting to play around that Gift Energy, Rolling Iron to reduce my damage and pick off these Archeops. I suppose she also could have gone for the Lumineon just to take a 2-prize turn, but eventually she's going to have to work through some of these Archeops anyways. So it looks like I have another 2 Archeops in hand. I just decided to just Ultra Ball those away, grab Lugia V-Star, get my second Lugia set up, and then I think I'm going for the Primal Turbo here. Yep, going to go ahead and set up a Gift Energy and double Turbo Energy onto my Lugia V-Star on the bench. Realistically fine, because I'm going to need a boss to attack to find a knockout with that Lugia next turn anyways, and the Rotom V is already there with its only 190 HP, so the double Turbo Energy will still allow that Lugia to go ahead and Tempest Dive that Rotom V for a knockout. We take the knockout here. It looks like I did forget to take my prize cards here, but I do remember to take them before it's ever relevant. I recall that for sure. Teal Mask comes up, gets another energy. Kylie's just going to boss the Archeops. We'd definitely like to see Rolling Iron again, ideally. Bring that Drago back up. Benches the Radzard. So that could potentially be an attacker for next turn. And I think we look here and she Prime Catchered the Archeops last turn, but she could have just bossed it because she had boss and Prime Catcher in hand, and she didn't end up playing any other supporter next turn. So we let her swap those around so that she Prime Catchered this turn and bossed last turn. That way she can still play Iono here. She definitely wants the Iono. And she's going to go for a Legacy Star to try to find the Iono. And I want to say in the same vein, we take back that Radzard bench, realizing that she should have benched the Fezandipity. Because she really needs to find the Iono here in order to get the best odds of me not winning this turn. So yeah, it looks like she's just going to Legacy Star for the Pheasantipity back and the Prime Catcher to hand, leaving herself with 2 cards in deck, but the Iono is still stuck there. And I have the Lumineon V in hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and Lumineon, pause orders, and grab the Rotom. We just checked there. I was flipping over cards to see if I would have found it off of the Iono. But I do find the boss there to take game 1 either way. And we're going to go ahead and move on to game 2, where I assume Callie will go first. So yeah, this is just like how Lugia is going to win the matchup. Just take 3, just go 2-2-2 really easily. Going first, Callie will have a much better shot because she can take the first knockout, but really needs me to whiff the boss at some point in order for it to have a chance. Otherwise, if I get the first 2 prize cards, looks like I open Lumineon again. Not like the worst thing in the world. I do play 2, but still not ideal. Callie opening the Teal Mask, much better starter. Gonna go ahead and Teal dance for a card and get some energy on board. Probably Nest Ball for Drago here, or maybe Squawk if she needs more out of this hand. Yep, so gonna go for the Squawk. Ultra Ball, finds the Drago, attach the Fire Energy from hand to it, has the Energy Switch as well for the Drago. Something nice about the Latias in this matchup is that you don't need to find Switch to get that Teal Mask out of the active. A lot of time, the Energy Switch off the Teal Mask in the active can be a little bit annoying because then you don't have the Grass Energy to retreat it. But with the Latias, you can do that a lot more freely since you can potentially just Latias free retreat the Teal Mask into the Regidrago. I think I get a Tails on that Aroma. A little hard to read the die there, but I do believe that is a Tails. Yep, looks like I just have to grab Lumineon for Iono. I think my hand was just full of energy. Maybe a couple of boss's orders, and I have to just Iono them to the bottom to try to find a Lugia. I don't think I find a Lugia here. I do find a Regigigas, and then I just attach Jet Energy to it to bring it up. Try to force Callie to take a 1-prizer. See, it looks like Callie. Just going to go ahead and Nest Ball for Rotom. So maybe I didn't draw a great hand herself there off of that Iono, and just going to have to end her turn with Rotom once again. Draw a few cards. Looks like we see the retreat to Drago, and then attached with Powerglass. That way we can get that energy onto the Drago after using Instant Charge. Very nice combo there. And then on my turn, I just draw. I attach the Gift Energy to Gigas that gets knocked out. I can draw some extra cards. I play Professor's Research. You do find the Lugia down here, and then I just have to pass, since I didn't have the Lugia V down last turn. I was looking over her hand. Surely has some more options now after the Instant Charge. No Dragon-type Pokemon in the discard pile yet, though, I don't think, to copy with Apex Dragon. Gonna go for the Ultra Ball. But I don't think she has another way to discard the Pokemon that she finds off of Ultra Ball. Yeah, so I think we decide if she's gonna have to Legacy Star anyway, she may as well Legacy Star before the Ultra Ball and try to discard the Pokemon that she was gonna search for with Legacy Star anyways. Yeah, so we flip. There's the 7. Looks like doesn't find any more Dragon Pokemon into the discard pile, but does have that Vessel in the discard that she can grab back with Legacy Star, and then she can Ultra Ball for probably the Giratina VSTAR, maybe? Oh, I think the Giratina VSTAR was prized. So just having to go for that Goodra. I think the Giratina VSTAR was actually prized both of the first 2 games here. So just going for the Goodra instead. Gonna boss that Lumineon. Energy Switch onto the... Oh no, decides to, I think, take something else instead of the Energy Switch off of the Legacy Star there. Attach for turn. And yeah, just boss Lumineon, Rolling Irons that for the knockout. Now, I make a big mistake here. I attach the Double Turbo Energy to Lugia, and then just boss to try to stall something. And I think because of the proxy Regigigas, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I could attack with it. But what I could have done there is I could have just attached the Double Turbo Energy to the Gigas and then bossed the Teal Mask up and taken a 2-prize knockout. So even though I couldn't get Archeops out there, I could at least have taken 2 prize cards with my Regigigas there. And been in a much better spot. But yeah, I didn't see the line there. I think, like I said, I think just because of the Gigas proxy. And so Callie is going to be able to take game 2 here. I, on my next turn, still don't manage to get any Archeops out. So there's just no way for me to stay in the game at that point. Then we go to game 3. And I'm definitely going to opt first game 3 here. And hopefully have a much better start. But yeah, I'm not sure. I still would have been in a very bad spot, obviously, if all I did was boss, take a knockout with Gigas and still didn't have any Archeops in play on like turn 4. But much better position for sure with those 2 prize cards at hand at least. So it looks like I am immediately able to get 2 Archeops in discard pile this game. 3 Archeops in discard pile even. I think I was eyeing up going for Squawkabilly here, and I decided to take back that last Ultra Ball when I realized that the Squawkabilly is prized. So I'm just going to Ultra Ball these 2 Archeops for the Lugia V. Attach the Double Turbo Energy to it so that it has an easy way to retreat if needed. Okay, I actually decided to attach the Lumineon to retreat that into the Lugia. That way it can be set up with 4 non-Double Turbo Energy to knock out the Regidrago V. I think probably a much better play. Callie, on the other hand, gonna have another strong start. Pretty strong starts for this Drago list. All 3 games, even though it's very unconventional compared to what we've been used to. The Lugia obviously didn't have as great of a start game 2, but still great game 1 and game 3 starts. So at least getting to see some good games here. Callie does have the turn 1 energy on the Drago, Teal Dance, Squawk and Seize. Looks like it's gonna be coming up next, or maybe a research. Yeah, so research first. Benches the Drago V. Nest Ball, maybe finding a Latias to get that Drago with the energy out of harm's way. Looks like just gonna eye up the Rotom, draw a few extra cards, which might make up for losing the energy anyways, or maybe she has another way to get the Drago out of the active spot. She still has Squawk and Seize as well, so. Okay, just gonna energy switch the Fire Energy onto the bench Drago instead. Then Squawk and Seize. I think I maybe would have liked, maybe we could energy switch the Grass onto the other Drago instead of energy switching the Fire back. I'm not sure. The Fire might be fine there, but we could have held out and we still find Latias here. We also have Mesagoza, so we can potentially find Latias that way as well. And it looks like she did get heads on the Mesagoza here. I'm just going to grab a Goodra to get into the discard pile. Debating here. Yeah, so going for the Goodra. I don't think she has a way to discard it yet. Just going to play the PokéStop. Finds Nest Ball and Super Rod. Gonna use the Nest Ball. Wonder if she'll use the Super Rod as well, because I think she does already have a Drago V-Star in discard pile. I know there's a Teal Mask and a Grass Energy in there, so Super Rod could be solid here just to have some more outs in deck. But it looks like gonna hold the Rod for now, just go for the instant charge, and I will start my turn 2. I just Ultra Ball my hand away. Probably just gonna grab. I could grab Lumineon for research here, but I'm kind of okay with just knocking out the active anyways. And I don't want to I don't want to waste my Lumineon because my other one is in the active spot, and I want to make sure I have access to Lumineon for boss when I need it later on. Whereas now I can just knock out the active. So it looks like I actually just grab Regigigas as, you know, another attacking option. And then I go ahead and summoning start out my Archeops. Gonna set up this Lugia. Just picking my energy here. So I go with Gift, Double Mist, and a Legacy Energy. Make this Lugia a bit more annoying for my opponent to knock out. Reducing the prizes she will take by 1. Legacy Energy not having a ton of other uses in this matchup, so I think I just felt like it was optimal to put it on this Lugia. And then basically I have a board of 1 prizes other than that Lumineon, so makes it extra tough for her to work through. Looks like she doesn't find... So she just bosses the Archeops there and Rolling Irons it. So I just bring up the Gigas, put some energy on it, and boss up that Teal to take the easy 1 prize knockout on it, or knockout with a 1 prizer on it while I can. Go down to 2 prize cards. So all I need to do to win next turn is boss again. So this puts Callie in a really, really bad spot. Even if she knocks out the Archeops, I mean, I don't really need anything else. She can refrain from mentioning a Teal Mask. That way, I cannot take another knockout with Gigas. So right now, her best option is probably just knock out the Lugia V-Star, because then I don't have any attackers on board that can one-shot anything on her board. So she forced me to also find another attacker. Whereas right now, all I need to do is play Boss's Orders to win. Gonna go for the Legacy Star to try to find something to piece together here. So she just really does not have a lot of great options here. I think she has to play Iono. I'm pretty sure that I have a boss out in hand. I think I might have even Ultra Balled or Aroma'd for a Lumen last turn, and so she might even know that I have a way to boss orders in hand. And I don't think that she has a way to use Lost Impact, so that won't be... Knocking out the Lugia is not an option. She's got the Iono in hand. She's still going to get the Iono back, I think, to have one for next turn. I think she was hoping to find the Prime Catcher off of, or a way to get the Giratina V-Star in discard pile there. And yeah, so it looks like she's grabbing Iono and Ultra Ball. Gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball. And yeah, I think the Giratina V-Star, I think she had it in deck game 1, but game 2 and 3 it was prized here. So not even an option, just gonna have to Prime Catcher the Archeops, use the Iono, and go for another Rolling Iron. Yeah, so just Rolling Irons here, knocks out the Archeops. I bring up Lugia V-Star. Do I have boss in hand? Off the Iono, it doesn't look like it. I'm sure I would have just snap played it if I had an out to boss. Looks like I'm deciding where I want to test this Jet Energy, potentially for if I want to like weirder later, have more energy on board. Looks like I decide just not to attach it at all. Just research. Play Aroma. Looks like I got Tails. So, yeah, here I search for the Lumineon for sure for next turn. Get another Tails, search for Squawkabilly. So I'm going to go for the Blood Moon here. Okay, so on the first Aroma, got Heads, grabbed an Archeops, and then I'm going to Ultra Ball away Drapion and Archeops for the Lumineon for next turn. I play the Goza so that I have a little bit more draw outs out of after an Iono. I attach the Jet Energy to the active, have Lumen in hand for boss for next turn, and I just swing into the Drago. So Callie also can't attack with this Drago again next turn unless she was knocking out the Lugia V-STAR. Or even if she was knocking out the Lugia V-STAR, because then I could just attach one energy to the Blood Moon and take the knockout. So she has to set up a second Drago, which I think both of her other Drago are in the discard pile. She has a Super Rod left, but I think it's still in the deck here. And she really needs to take a knockout here. She needs to take a knockout with a fresh Regidrago V-STAR. I think we're just trying to figure out what her best way of doing this is, if there is even a way here. Gonna look at her resources. Oh, flips the script here, but she couldn't even flip. But I don't think she finds it anyways. The Super Rod is still in deck, and I think she's also out of Ultra Ball, so even if she draws the Super Rod, there's no way for her to search out the Drago V-STAR after Super Rodding it back in. She doesn't have... I think she would have to research for it. It looks like she has the Ultra Ball in hand. She would need the Ultra Ball and the research, and the Super Rod. Obviously can't research after the Super Rod, because then she will deck out. We're just looking at her deck here, looking at her hand. And yeah, I think we're not seeing any way for her to do this here. Maybe she can't even Iono back into the Super Rod and then back into the Ultra Ball, because I think she has about 4 cards in deck, so she would Iono for the whole deck. Ultra Ball would be on the bottom. And so yeah, I'm going to take my last 2 prize cards here on whatever she leaves active. Even if she can get another Drago out there, all I need to do is play the boss that I can grab off the Lumen. So she'd also have to Iono me there. And if she Iono'd me, I could still find a boss off of the Iono. So Lugia going to take the set 2-1 and move on to the top 8 bracket where, let me see, what is Lugia going to play against next? So, moving on to the next round, Lugia will play against the winner of Archaludon and Ceruledge. So, should have, Archaludon and Raging Bolt. So, should have good matchups there either way. I like both of those matchups for Lugia. Archaludon can be a lot closer. So, we'll see if Lugia can keep advancing. Gardevoir is on the same side of the bracket as it, so in order to make finals, it will have to probably go through Gardevoir at some point. We'll see. I think I'll have my next video up will be the Dragapult versus Snorlax matchup, and we'll keep working through this first round of the single elimination bracket. So far, we've had Gardevoir, Miraidon, and Lugia all advance. All decks that are no stranger to the top tables, and looks like they are still going to remain strong in our Prismatic Evolutions format. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to check out any of my other content or socials, my link tree is in the description below. Have a great day.